So that's what this is. It's a new theory of humanity, and the reason that I'm doing this is because I hear a lot of stuff like this: Homo sapiens rule the world because it is the only animal that can cooperate flexibly in large numbers through believing in common myths. He talks a lot about narrative and how humans are storytellers, consummate storytellers, and that's how we can motivate ourselves into doing amazing or treacherous things. But he never talks about where narrative comes from. You know, like where did we get that capacity for narrative? Well, I'm gonna propose something tonight. And this is another one Elizabeth Colbert wrote the book The Sixth Extinction. She says man was a killer, an overkiller, pretty much right from the start, with the capacity to represent the world in signs and symbols, which comes to the capacity to change it and to destroy it. Okay, so she's also acknowledging that we are really potent, but nobody's talking about where we get that potency. We think of it as our own. We think of it as innate with the human. This is a synchronic view of us. It's not asking, well, where did we get it? Where did we get it? Where did we get all the things that make us unique? So that's what this is. It's a new theory of humanity. So this is a moment, maybe 6 or 7 million years ago, somewhere near Central Africa. You can see we have a family or a group of primates. But this is the image of Sahelanthropus chilensis, one of our ancestors about 6 or 7 million years ago. Now what I'd like to do is imagine one particular female who, from her perch, this is just a hypothetical story, I'm not saying that this happened, but something like this may have happened, probably happened. She's sitting up there and she notices some berries down on the ground, and she imagines, using this new neural organ in her head, that what those berries must taste like, and it kind of seduces her down out of the tree. So you can imagine a scene like this, where you've got a small family group, they're carrying some seed pods, and one of them, let's say Lucy, decides that she wants to come up with a better way to open these, to get the husks off the seed pods so she can feed her family. And so she looks down and there's a rock, and another rock, and she figures out to take those rocks, hit them together to make the first stone tool. It's called an old one stone tool. And what she's doing there, think about this. So you've got this primate walking along. I've got these things I want to process somehow. I see this rock, I hit it with another rock. It creates a surface that I can use to scrape the husk off. If I do that, I can eat it. I can feed my family. What is she doing? She's telling the story. It's a sequence of causal events over time with consequences. That's a plot. So this is where narrative came from. It was literally the rocks of the earth teaching humans how to manipulate them in a way, sort of coaxing us into right relationship with them to do this, to thrive. So what I'm saying is when a species with a cognitive capacity for this story, and this aesthetic appreciation, and this metaphor, goes out and travels the world and encounters something like this, Corman, they create this. This is art. There's a real continuity of this intelligence. This is where we get it. We get it from the earth. Now the reason that I'm telling you the story, the reason that this sort of makes sense to me, was because one day I realized, I spent a lot of time in East Africa studying this stuff, and I got to know that just like I started to get to know this habitat in this place. I've done it in many habitats around the world. That's why this makes sense. Like that's where this idea came from. I realized that every place that I've lived and immersed myself in the relational matrix of the place, I get intelligence from it. And even in my lifetime at sea or wherever, that's why this idea kind of came to me. It comes directly from feeling the intelligence getting communicated from different habitats. That's the origin of this idea. So think about it. We left the trees, and then we crossed savannas and estuaries, and we went through swamps, and we lived in alpine regions, and we even crossed oceans and other forests, and we skirted glaciers and crossed deserts. All of these things over time are imparting a certain kind of intelligence. and the accumulation of that intelligence is us, and that's what makes us human. That's the basis of Earthling theory.